Marie's Memoirs.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to Marie's Memoirs. Today, we are going to be talking about Charicot Tooth Disease. I have an amazing, motivational, and very inspirational lady here with me called Priya. Hi, Priya, how are you?
Hi, Annie. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Girl, I'm good. I'm good. I'm definitely ready to learn more about this condition. So, could you tell us a little bit more about what Charicot tooth disease is and like what is it? It just
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I was only diagnosed with Charcot-Marie tooth disease about 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Prior to that, I was labeled many different conditions. So Charcot-Marie tooth disease, I was born with this. So it's a degenerative condition. It's a combination of many different conditions. So I have muscle dystrophy, which means fatigue of my muscles. Um, Peripheral and no, motor and sensory peripheral neuropathy. Yes, it's a mouthful. It's basically
That
my
is
nervous
yeah,
system
yeah.
is damaged. I also have cerebral palsy, which mainly affects my hands and my ankles.
Mhm.
I have scoliosis, which is a slight curvature on the top of my spine. Um, I also have dysarthria, which means my speech, and especially now the winters come in,
Mhm.
it affects my chest a lot. I tend to get a lot of reoccurring chest infections, throat infections. It doesn't stop there. I also have dystonia. So dystonia is severe spasm. So it's basically I describe it as lockdown syndrome. What and where it particularly affects me is my jaw, my hands. So I can't move, I can't ride, can't feed myself. My hips and my ankles. Um, and I've also got a disc bulge on my S1 nerve root on the left side, and I've been suffering that for the last 5 years.
Where on the body is that?
That's my lower lumbar spine. So
Oh,
where
okay.
my coccyx is and S1 nerve root. So my disc slips out of place, and it's the horrible experience. And then late last year, so I've always been struggling with my speech for a few years. But late last year, I was diagnosed with early stage voice fatigue. Um, and that this really affected me mentally as well because I'm really, I love to talk and
I know.
I do
I
love
know.
to talk. um, and also with my actual job, I'm a coach, an agile coach. So I do a lot of teaching, training, coaching. So it has really affected the way I coach, how much I coach, but also my personal life as well,
Yeah.
in terms of how I interact. And what I mean by that, going out, I can't have noisy environments as well. Um, but that said, Marie, I have all of those conditions. I still live a life I love.
See, and this is why, Priya, I definitely wanted to speak with you to bring more awareness about this because you are literally one of the strongest women that I know. And I'm not going to get emotional, but
You don't make me
I'm
emotional.
not. No, we're not going to do this today. But I'm just saying, with everything, do all of those things fall under Charicot tooth disease? Is it like an
Yeah,
umbrella of if you've got
it's an umbrella. That's it.
you will forever be an inspiration to me personally, Priya. I'm just telling you from now because there's a lot that everybody goes through in life and that we all endure. But it's the ones that, even though think situations, lots of things are out of their control, it's the ones that still find a way to smile. They still find light, even though it's dark around them. And that is an amazing innate strength that I have noticed that you do have. And yeah, you're definitely inspirational. Um,
Mm.
Another one of my questions is how does it, so breaking it down, I mean, some of these things, some of these situations are not visible disabilities to everybody. Like when you say, oh, someone's disabled, normally you've got a wheelchair or
Yeah.
a walking stick or something like that. That's a visual indicator of some kind of disability. But with the majority of the things you've listed, they're not visible. So, uh, how does this affect your daily life in regards to going to work? Um, does it affect what? How does it affect your daily life?
Mhm. Yeah, so my condition is invisible. I actually it affects it. So my condition affects me mainly physically, um, and especially having a visible disability, I have to always prove that I have a disability. And I think, Amory, you know myself as well. I'm quite a positive person. I don't really let anything get me down unless it's severe pain. Um, but people usually see me, and I look normal. They don't understand what I have to probably have inside my shoes, the leg splints I wear, the ankle splints I have to wear. They just see that exterior. So at work, I have actually experienced. You know what? It's funny. I was reflecting back when I was younger. I was bullied all my life, and what I mean by that, I had names called at me, like I had to wear Pedro boots, make my disability more visual, and kids weren't that nice around me. And I thought when you go into the workplace, adulthood, it'll change,
Mm,
but I was wrong. I've actually had people come up to me because of the nature of my condition. I can only the most comfortable footwear I have is trainers, and I'm actually known as the trainer queen because I have a variety of them, and I take pride in that. But
yes.
I especially, Amory, where me and you were met. In fact, it's very a corporate environment,
Yeah.
and you know that the attire they wore was like suits and booted, and I could only wear trainers, and I had no choice of what color they were because I had to make sure my insoles fitted into them and my ankles supported. So I had some comments come up to people come up to me saying, "You're so special. Why do you get to wear trainers for?"
Are
And
you
I'm thinking,
serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm thinking, if you know the amount of pain I'm going through and also the psychological effect it has on me. And then I also had at my workplace have a sit stand desk, a ergonomic chair. So
Yeah.
these things that help to support my back, my posture. I again had people come up to me, that's so cool. Where can I get one of them? And I'm just thinking, I wouldn't want this. I'd rather be like pain free.
It's not a
And
necessary.
yes,
People are seeing it as like special treatment and loads of cool accessories, but not actually being considerate enough to kind of think, hold on, why is she allowed to actually have this? Maybe that is so selfish.
it's healthy. But you also, where because I'm a person that I could see, like, I have things in my control. I step back and reflected. I thought either these people are arrogant
Mm,
or one, they've never been educated and they've never experienced people different to them.
yeah,
So I took that power in my hand and said, I can use and educate people.
yeah,
And one of my core values is helping others, giving love, and being kind.
yeah,
So I always think that that's what I'm here on this earth to do. And if I can shed a bit of light and help people, hence why we're here talking now. I feel actually, thank you, Anne-Marie, for having me on your show as well to just share my voice because it's people are so different, have different perspective in this world. We all need to be a bit more kinder, and being a bit more kinder is about learning from each other, being not judgmental, being curious. Because when you look at Amory and me and you both hold these values, we want to be the best version of ourselves so we can help and radiate that energy off.
exactly.
um, so, but yeah, that's how it's affected me in the workplace, and it's been challenging, and it has been easy. I'd also look at like I'm of Indian background, so I follow the Sikhism religion,
Mhm,
and being female.
yeah,
So in my community, in the Indian community, it's It's rarely spoken about disabilities, whether that's males or females, but particular females, I'm seen as a burden in people's eyes. Not my family. You met my family; they're very
Your
loving,
family is amazing. I
supportive.
love them.
They love
Your
you,
book is
Amri.
amazing too. I shall be by soon, actually. I'm overdue.
You best come over. But that adds different complexities,
Mm,
as well as dealing with a condition that changes, and also dealing with the cultural aspects as well. It's not easy, but I've over time I've learned to love myself a bit more, and I've learned to manage my condition the best way I can, because I value life, and I want to live a life full of love, which I can share with others as well. So I think everything I do, I make sure I have a choice. Um, and yeah,
that's so important. And there's a recurring theme in what you're saying is to continue to bring awareness, continue to spread love, continue to be kind, because it's the kindness. People don't realize what other people are going through. And so when we're able to kind of take a minute to just be kind and just continue to do kind things, amazing things will happen. And definitely in creating more space for awareness of these kind of situations, it's definitely pivotal. Um, so with the have you been so throughout life, have there been any kind of foods or particular exercises that can help with specific challenges, physical challenges?
yeah. So definitely. So this year, I actually went vegetarian for about 4 months,
Oh,
and I noticed a difference in my health. I felt lighter. I felt more energy. Um, I did. I also, it was kind of like I still miss some protein food, because with my muscle dystrophy, basically, I'm probably not going to explain this right, but it's about the enzymes that I have, and it's called atrophy, mitochondrial atrophy. So basically, the proteins in my muscles don't make up. So
okay.
I need to have that. More protein to help me. So I noticed that having more organic and fruit, vegetables, that's more good for me. Having the sugar and all of that, even though I'm a sugar addict, it's not good for me. But everything's in proportion, Amway. So I think having a good diet and making sure I have a variety of food, and I never restrict myself of stuff. I'm actually a foodie. I love food, all cuisines. Um, and but onto exercise, so stretching and daily like exercises is very good for me. So it's kind of hit or miss. Like I
Mm.
would say like yoga, Pilates, but my last experience of yoga put me in bed for 2 weeks,
Oh,
because I told you I have a back disc bulge. So any movement I do, even getting out the chair, I have to be very considerate and deliberate how I move, because one movement um, can put me bedbound for 2, 3 weeks. Um, so that's exercise. So recently, especially where the situation we're in, with the lockdown and going through a pandemic, it's really affected me, more mentally, because my condition, I have no control when I'm gonna have pain, how severe that pain is gonna be. There was actually times, Amri, where I couldn't even get out of bed without twisting my ankle. I couldn't even get to the bathroom without holding on to the wall.
mm,
And then I was so low, I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to go for walks. And even now, it does make me a bit emotional, because only I know how my condition can restrict me.
yeah,
So that's why I go in that mindset that, you know what, it's all about positive thinking and
yes,
faith in God.
yes, yes.
So that's what keeps me going as well. But it's all about choices. And also, when I think about my life, where I want to lead it, how I want to lead it as well, I don't want to be in bed or bed bound or be reliant on someone else.
Mhm.
So I try to manage things as independently as I can. I always say to myself, not every day has to be a good day, and it's okay not to be okay as well. So those sort of things really help and get me going. But at the moment, I'm loving the gym. Even if I go 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes, it just gives me that thing. I'm doing it for me and my health and well being.
No, yeah, yeah. To, this is why. Don't have me lost for words, but this is why you are inspirational, because through it all you keep pushing and you're not giving up and you won't give up, and I it's
Yeah.
really admirable, because a lot of things will happen to a lot of different people, but like I said before, it's that kind of innate strength to just push forward and just do your best and be like, I know how I want to be.
Everybody is on their own journey in their own life. This
Exactly.
is the life I have, and it helps keeps me grounded and put things in perspective as well. But
Yeah,
you're totally right. And this is really weird. For every birthday, and it was recently my birthday, the only thing I wish for is not materialistic thing, is my health. And I'm a believer in my faith in God as well,
yeah,
and that's what gives me strength. And I just wish that He continues to give me the strength to live the life I want, and that's what keeps me going. And I think in life you go through different challenges,
yeah,
and you have to learn yourself when you go through these as well. But especially like being able to help share my story, help others see a different lens, what people might be going through, and the way they respond is what I love doing as well.
no, I absolutely love that. You've kind of, you mean, you, my next question was going to be like, how do you gain strength? You've kind of answered it, but I'll ask it anyway. Like, where do you get your strength from on your toughest days?
Totally safe. And that's true. So one is through God. Like I have big faith and
Yeah.
belief in my faith system, and that gives me a lot of comfort.
Hmm.
Another thing, my family, so supportive, and my friends as well. Like I always say, my friends are my family, and even a little text, just to see how I am. But also, Amri, what I do for myself is think how far I come in my life and the achievements I've had, and that gives me encouragement never to give up, and just think of it like this is another thing that I'm learning to manage and grow and learn about myself, and it's about resilience. And you know what else gives me strength is other people, hearing other people's stories that never give up in life,
Hmm.
because I get inspiration from other people as well that
Yeah.
have shared what they've gone through and how they made successful things as well. It's all about mindset,
Yeah.
and that's the hardest to keep as well. The psychological
Yeah.
side of your health. It's very hard, but I think the way I think of it is, a plant, a flower.
Yeah.
It needs sun, it needs water, it needs good soil. In If I want the life I want, I have to keep feeding myself these things. And the thing is, I mean, I do what I can do. So if I can only walk 10 steps, that's an achievement for me. If
Yeah.
I can get myself dressed, and I'm being very open here, like how um how my condition can really affect me that people don't see when they look at me.
Mhm.
Um those things is put in what expectations or success looks for me. So doing it small and small. And I would just like to point, this is so hard because as society affects a lot of people's mindset, the way they
Gosh,
think, because
yes,
they're
yes, yes.
portrayed as you have to be a certain way, you have to look a certain way, you
Mhm.
can't dress like this, you have to do 100, you have to do 1 hour training a day. No, you don't.
Yeah.
And this is where I like to say, Amri, is I don't feel disabled. Society disables us. I actually feel the best life I'm living. I just know I do things differently. I could do anything
Wow,
you could do. I could
wow,
anybody could do, and
wow.
that's how my mindset is and keeps me going and just doing what I love.
You just dropped a major like knowledge bomb for me. Um, because it makes sense. Like, who are we to say that somebody else is disabled? If they can do things a different way, it does not mean they are disabled. That is a different way to look at it. And thank you for sharing that. That's really so much thought for so much thought provoking conversation here. And wow, yeah, that's I'm gonna let that sink in because that right there is golden. I really appreciate you saying that. It's very interesting, and I feel like that's another kind of thing that we can that can be unpacked in regards to how society view you is not who you are. Who you
Yeah.
want to be is who you will be, and it's
Yes.
all a mental state. It's all in your perspective and how you perceive yourself within the midst of all the distractions.
It distractions, and this is an easy place to get to. You have to do a lot of work on yourself. This
Right.
is about self-care, self-love, taking time for you, and really starting to know who you are. Because when we're younger, we're always given this identity. We have a name. We're in a culture. We've
Yeah.
been told don't eat this, don't eat that, and our parents bring us up the best they can.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then as we grow older, we start to learn more about ourselves and
Mhm.
the people we mix with, the environments we put ourselves in. And
Right.
I emphasize on that because remember, we all have choices where we go,
Right.
what we do, how we do stuff, what we
Mhm.
say. And it's all about being non judgmental. You
Mhm.
know, the biggest invaluable skill that anybody can have is listening and time. People don't give enough time to others. People don't listen. People just think their experiences is the same as others, but it's not. You need to stop, listen, and seek to understand rather than just rant on. And that's what makes you, when you start feeling like that, it makes you feel relaxed as a human and it makes you feel like, you know what, no tension. Well, that's how I feel anyway.
Mhm.
And it's a good feeling, but I think those are a few things that not a lot of people do. And I think it's funny when you go into workplace, into loads of different environments, you think you can't do it, but you can
Right.
because you're in control of yourself, and this is what we can't forget.
It's definitely that notion of whether you think you can or you can't, you are right because it's all in what you think. It's all in your mind. It's your thoughts.
Yeah.
So so what would you say has been your most bravest moment or achievement in life in regards to everything? What's the bravest thing you've done that you're super proud of?
Super proud of is moving away independently from home. So moving from Birmingham to London,
Yeah.
not knowing any family, no friends there, independently trying to care for myself, doing things, living a life that a lot of people didn't think I could live, including my extended family or other family as well, including even some friends or people I met. And that's what shows me my inner strength that if I put my mind to something, I will achieve it. Um, that's got to be my proudest moment. Yeah.
I love that. Because I know I know a lot of people that probably there's no kind of like physical challenges at all with them, and they still wouldn't want to move away from what they are familiar with. So actually taking being brave enough to put yourself into a very uncomfortable situation, but knowing that you know where, say for example, if you needed the doctors or whatever, that would have all been sorted. But just making sure that, okay, I've got X, Y, and Z sorted, right? Time to move, let's go. And that I think that's a great adventure and a great story to tell other people as well. Because a lot of
And
people, they don't do things because they want to stay, they're happy to stay in a very comfortable space. Whereas, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you touched on it. So, being uncomfortable to me is sign of growth, is
Yes,
taking a risk, is
yes,
moving forward. We
yes,
have to get we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because in life, I guarantee you, you're gonna have certain situation, anything,
yeah,
experiences that gonna make you have that feeling. And it's about being resilient, about being um, knowing around you what you need in order to go out and do what you want.
exactly, exactly. Okay, okay. So, we're going to come to a close soon. How can how can people that don't have a disability or any kind of awareness of disabilities, whether visual or not, be more kind and considerate? Like just simple things that somebody who is not aware can be aware of and more considerate.
And I think I touched on this a bit before as well. It's about trying not to be judgmental and
Mm,
listening, Amri,
yeah,
taking a step back, listening to that person, um, or to what they're saying, and trying to understand. And if you don't understand, ask questions.
yeah,
Um, and I think it's so important, especially like inclusion, diversity topics, we're all made of different layers. We
mm,
need to start talking about who we are, how we're made up.
yeah,
um, so one is around listening, one is about asking questions. When you start asking questions, it won't feel so uncomfortable to ask them,
right.
and you start to normalize the conversation around disabilities or other topics that are not familiar with certain people as well.
Mhm.
Um, and I think be curious. And I don't want these to be fluffy responses or things, but being curious, listening is so invaluable. We need to do more of it as humans as well. um, and also perhaps, like, if you're a really curious person and you want to learn about something, why not attend a event? So I know a lot of charities do different day events. So I'm with the muscle dystrophy charity, and they hold on loads of different online webinars and seminars where you can learn about different things, and that's just one topic. But I'm sure there's other communities that do this. So go to one, get out your comfort zone and learn a bit more, because at the end of the day, it's benefiting you because you're becoming a better human being that
Yeah.
is able to serve the world a bit better.
No, I love that. What I'll do is, if it's okay, if you send me a few of those companies and links, then I'll put it in the
So
description, and so that people can follow up with that if they have more curiosity or want to get involved in regards to support and awareness. Oh, that's amazing. So my final question, um, if anybody is listening right now, who has a disability that is not visible, what encouragement would you give to them?
never give up. And that's probably one, when you're going to go through loads of things in life. You're going to learn more about yourself. It's but trust in yourself, believe in yourself.
Mhm.
Um, don't give up. Learn to remember you have control of your life.
Mhm.
You
Yes.
Sometimes people may think the condition is taking over them, but
Yeah.
remember. So with my condition, the way I think of it, it's degenerative. It is degenerative. So that means as I get older, it will progress. But what I do is work with it. I
Mhm.
don't fight against my disability. I learned to understand a bit more, and that required patience, a
Mhm.
bit education, talking to people, reaching out, and even myself, I'm quite confident person, articulate. I go to counselling, I go to get support, and that's not a shameful thing. So
At
what
all.
I'm trying to say is you need to start to understand yourself a bit more. Get the support you need. Don't be shy of asking for that, and never give up, and chase your dreams. What's in your heart will be, if you want it to be as well. Yeah, that's what I'd say, Emma.
Priya, those are amazing golden knowledge nuggets and encouragement that you've given throughout this whole interview. It's an absolute honor to have you here talking and sharing awareness.
Well, thank you, Amri, so much for letting me be on your talk show as well and being able to share my voice. And I hope others listening will, even whether they could find one nugget out of it to help them move forward or be a better person as well. But thank you so much.
That's amazing. Thank you, Priya. And having this wonderful conversation with Priyaneet. I mean, I have learned so much. There's a lot of thoughts, food for thought, and there's a lot to consider as well. If you love this content or have any further questions, I will put some links below so that you can check those out and just learn more about Charicot Tooth Disease. If you like what you've heard, just do not forget to click like, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share this content with somebody who may be interested in learning more about the Charicot Tooth Disease and all things underneath it. I will speak to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.
Mary's Memoirs.